Yep. SGA office.
Go ahead, just say your name and spell it.
Barb Jones.
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 Exact title.
Associate Vice President for Student Affairs.
A little bit lower.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Just look it out.
Okay.
You want to eat that? Or?
This is fun. I should have done the French braid today.
Yeah, you asked me about that.
Yeah, I did.
Wait a minute. One little. Look okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's windy.
Yeah, right. I just want to.
We're outside.
Okay. We're outside.
If this will just stay out of my face there. Okay.
So, if you were to explain, or from your perspective, the undergraduate experience at Ball State.
I think it's a wealth of opportunities. There are so many different things that the students can be involved in, both inside and outside the classroom. That's not going to work.
Okay, get the screen.
Okay.
That
Was I on the right track?
Oh yeah. Great. Let me ask that question again.
Okay.
Explain the undergraduate experience.
The undergraduate experience at Ball State is a wealth of opportunities, all kinds of things that students can be involved in both inside and outside the classroom that provide learning experiences beyond what a normal college education could be.
A lot of campuses will say that. What makes Ball State unique?
I think it's the level of involvement of the students and the faculty and the staff with one another, working together on projects and making the campus a really active place.
Do students take advantage of those opportunities?
Oh yes, we have 300 student organizations that are all very active and involved and providing lots of different
Let's start that
yeah.
question. Feel free to bring your hand up if you need
Okay.
to move your hair back.
Okay.
Do students take advantage of those opportunities?
Oh yes, we have students involved in over 300 student organizations and all kinds of other programs and activities on campus.
How do you get the word out? There's 19, almost 20,000 students here.
Well, we have a variety of methods we use. One of them is our FastFax VTX system, which is a computer online system that receives over 200,000 accesses a month.
A lot of organizations, a lot of opportunity for students. You say they get involved, but how many opportunities are there?
Oh, hundreds, thousands throughout a year. In just 1 week's period of time, there are probably 50 or 60 things just outside the classroom that they can get involved with, whether they're programs or speakers or concerts or dances, all kinds of things.
Relating to academics, a lot of people will think that the college experience, the undergraduate experience, should be related solely to academics. Research tells us, though, that involvement in activities improves academics.
Correct. Students who are more involved in activities tend to get better grades, be more satisfied with their college experience, and tend to graduate on time more frequently than students who aren't involved.
What's so special about Ball State?
I think it's just the whole atmosphere of the campus. When I ask students that question, they tell me it's the warm feeling that they get, the campus size, the people that they know. It's just the whole environment. I don't like that part.
Let me ask you that question again.
Okay.
What's so special about Ball State?
I think it's everything. I think it's the total experience that a student can have on campus. It's a whole variety of things, from the way the campus looks to the people that they meet to the relationships they develop.
That was cool. Wanda, give me your name and spell it for me.
Wanda, Wanda, Singleton, Singleton.
And you're a senior?
Yes.
From Fort Wayne?
Right.
And what's your major?
Speech pathology and audiology.
Okay. Got a job for next year?
Well, the market's looking good, but I have to go to grad school first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll be...
Are you going to stay here or are you going to go someplace else?
I'm going to apply here. They have a real good program here, and just kind of apply a few other places just to see what my options are financially. So.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about your undergraduate experience.
Okay.
Let's start from the very beginning. What made you choose Ball State?
Well, I started as an accounting major at Florida A&M University. I was there for 2 years and decided that that's not what I wanted to do. So I just looked into education and special education in particular, and came upon speech pathology. I don't want to say by accident, but knew some people in the field, and my mother works in the school system in Fort Wayne, so talked to some people and looked around at the different programs and came to Ball State because it was close to home, and I knew a lot of people had given a lot of compliments on the program and said it was really good, so here I am.
So tell me about your experience. You've been here. You had 2 years at Florida A&M,
right,
so
and this
2
is,
years here.
Well, this is my third year.
year.
Right, this is my
Okay.
third year, so it's been a real good experience for me. I like the fact that a lot of the faculty in the department really cater to my needs as far as a transfer student and making sure that all my credits were transferred, and they pretty much have an open door policy as far as advising goes. Even though you're assigned to one advisor, you can basically pop your head into anybody's door and ask questions, chat, talk about the program or whatever your concerns are. So that's been a good experience for me academically. The program's very challenging, and I've done really well in it so far. And the outside of the classroom has been a good experience for me as well. I was able to jump right in and get involved in a lot of student organizations, and a lot of the advisors were very open to my suggestions and kind of guided me through and helped me to enhance the leadership skills that I had gained before I came here and gain others that I hadn't had. So it's been a good overall experience for me.
If you were to say something's really special about Ball State for you, what would it be?
I guess it would be all the opportunities students have to get involved with different organizations. There's about 300 organizations on campus, and students can't say there's nothing to do, basically, because there's always something to do on campus, whether it's in the classroom or outside of the classroom. And the advisors seem to go out of their way to make sure that students are prepared for leadership skills as well as the academic skills needed in the workforce.
So if you were to recommend Ball State to somebody else, what would you tell them?
Just come check it out. It has a lot to offer, both academically and socially. It's an atmosphere where it's a mid-sized university. It's big enough where there's a lot of diversity and a lot of different people you can meet, but it's not so big where you don't feel like you're lost in the crowd or you're just another number. It's a comfortable sized university, and there's just a lot to do. It's a good experience.
Most important thing, though, you feel comfortable, it's prepared you for your future and your career.
Oh yes, I feel that definitely, both academically and for leadership. I mean, there's all of that's included in the experience that you get, and you're able to apply all those skills outside of the campus environment as well as while you're here. So I feel prepared.
Great. Okay, Warren, tell us your name and spell it for us.
Warren Jackson, WarrenJackson.
And you're
From Indianapolis.
and what year are you in?
I am a senior.
Okay. I mean, a senior? Or?
I am I'm not a true senior, but I am a senior. I am
Good
a senior.
enough.
There you
Good
go.
enough. Okay, I'm going to kind of crouch. Yes, that's all right. This is so comfortable. Yeah, is the mic out of the way?
That's perfect. Right there.
Okay. What I want you to talk to me about is what kind of experience have you had? Let's wait till Charlie quits. Thank you, Charlie. What kind of experience have you had here at Ball State?
I've had a pretty exciting one. I mean, it started out kind of slow because I was from a small school. And coming here, got into things in residence hall and hall council, things of that nature. I studied abroad for a time. At the end of my freshman year, I got involved with the International House and went to study in Canada for a few weeks. We studied the routes of the Underground Railroad and how it affects all the way up to Canada. So that was pretty wild. And I came back my sophomore year and worked with the International House, and I got to do presentations in classrooms, 15 to 20 minutes. That's how I got to meet a lot of people, man, you know. And from then on, my hall director saw that little something in me, and she convinced me to apply for the residence assistant position, RA, what we call it here. So I was in charge of about 60 young men for 2.5 years, and that was pretty wild. Mostly freshmen, so a lot of my memories come from those 2.5 years of being an RA. And now that I have moved off campus, things have slowed down a little more. And I've been still involved in several leadership organizations and involved with Black Student Association and still involved with the International House and some of the international students and what they do here. So
why was choosing Ball State a good deal for you?
Because it wasn't so big. I looked at IU because my mother had went there. I even visited Purdue. I don't know why, but I just thought Purdue, go Big Ten school. I went to DePaul, which is a little smaller, down in Greencastle, and that was a little too small. But when I visited here, I had seen a lot of people familiar to me. And even when I was just visiting, walking from building to building, I saw people made an effort to make eye contact and say hi, or just to speak, or just to nod in your direction. I think it's the general atmosphere here. Despite what people say, it's a pretty good atmosphere for students coming from small schools, small towns and stuff.
What do people say?
Well, in the past couple of years, we've had some unfortunate incidents with students, whether it was deaths or whether it was violence in the halls or on campus. I think Ball State, being a microcosm of Muncie, is affected a lot by everything in Muncie and small town and stuff. But people, is it safe at Ball State? This is just in the past couple of years that the view has changed. But there has been the image of the party school, and if you go to Ball State, you don't get anything done. You just go there and party. But if you look deeper, if people want to make an effort to look deeper, there's a lot more here than what people think.
So, if you were to capsulize the essence of Ball State, what would you say?
It's that's a good question. It's a place to be.
What makes this a special place?
What makes it a special place? It's where you can be you. It's where you can find yourself as far as making that transition from high school to college, where you can discover, who you are, as a person. From 18 to 22, I realized I've changed mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, and I realized some things about myself that maybe I wouldn't have being at a larger university or a smaller university. That atmosphere here at Ball State and the people here bring that out, bring qualities out of you that you may not have known that were there. So,
academically, it's been good for you.
Yes, because I've been involved, my GPA has gone down a little bit, but I was smart that my freshman year I set out to study, really get stuff done. I got a 3.6 my first semester out, so getting the dean's list and using that as a little cushion, I was able to get involved. And being involved, being an RA, my studies did affect what I did, but it was able just to hurt it just a little bit by being involved. But it's been all right.
Guy knows how to play the system,
Yeah.
Gets a high GPA to start with and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, capsulize. What makes Ball State such a special place for you?
It's a good place to know, good place to find out who I am. It was a good place to discover new things, to take a risk. Okay, at an IU or Purdue, or maybe a little fearful because of the large size. But at Ball State, it's a good place to try different things out without fear of too many consequences coming back on you. And that's what I've found out being here at Ball State.
Great.
All right.
Okay, you're rolling. Yes. Give me your name and spell it for me.
Krishna Thomas, Krishna.
You're from?
South Bend, Indiana.
And what year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
Okay. What's your major?
My major is English education.
Okay. That's good. All right. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about Ball State and the experience here, the undergraduate experience, and what's special about it, and that sort of thing. What brought you to Ball State?
Well, there's a variety of things. One of the things I liked and that stands out especially in my mind was the orientation program. They do a lot of things to help parents as well as students become acquainted with the university before they even get a chance to come here. So you know your way around, you have an idea of where your classes will be, and you get to know a lot of students beforehand before you even get here. And
Oh, that's okay.
okay.
Anything else?
Besides that, the outreach that Ball State provides through the admissions office, they send a lot of literature to the students beforehand. And that's something that made me more aware of what Ball State had to offer, and also help make my decision to come to Ball State.
So once you were here, did we live up to your expectations?
Yes, and more. There are over 300 organizations on campus that you can become a part of, which basically means that there is an organization to fit every student's needs. If there isn't one that you feel you can become a part of, there's also the opportunity for you to make one up. So that is something that I find really enjoyable, because the transition from high school, where you're used to going to class every day and having that 8-hour block of time prepared for you, compared to only being in class about 15 hours a week, that leaves a big gap of time that you need to fill with constructive activities to help you become a part of the university.
So the organizations are there, but someone's got to show you how to budget and manage that time. Did Ball State help you do that?
Yes, there are several services that Ball State offers. There's the Learning Center, the Writing Center, several academic support areas. There's the Student Leadership Development Board, which actually has students that are established and have already figured out what works for them, that can serve as a resource for other students, that can show you how to manage your time, how to use effective study skills, and things like that.
Academically, Krishna, how's it been for you here?
Academically, it's been a wonderful experience. I found that in most cases, teachers are very willing to help you outside of class time, even outside of their office hours. And one thing that's very unique about Ball State is each professor is required to have times that he or she will be in his office. So you know that there are specific times during the day that you can just walk into your teacher's office and go talk about any problems that you may be having in the class, or any positive feedback that you want to give.
So how would you crystallize then what's special about Ball State?
What's special, what really makes it special, are the people, the students, the blend of the students, the faculty, and the administration all together. Generally, it's a pretty helpful atmosphere. Not everything can be perfect, but overall, I'd say it's a good experience.
If you were to tell someone Ball State's the place for them, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that with the population of about 19 to 20,000, that there is a place for you at Ball State.
Great. Very nice.
Provost.
Associate Provost. Go ahead. If you just
I am the Associate Provost,
You
since
are the
there are no
one
longer, yes,
only. Yeah,
not,
okay, we're rolling.
ready? Oh, okay,
Okay, we won't talk about that anymore. So for the record,
yes, yes. Now I'll be real careful with this.
tell me about the undergraduate experience at Ball State. What is Ball State attempting to do for the student?
Well, I think one of the things we want to accomplish is to make sure that every student has a very special experience. We focus on smaller classes, so students will be surprised to find themselves in classes of maybe 20 or 25. There's always an expectation that perhaps I'll be in a class of 500 students or 1,000 students, and we do have some large classes. But even in the large classes, we break them down into small units. So students, most of their learning experience is going to be in a small group of 25 or 30.
From an overall perspective of enjoying the campus experience, how does Ball State work differently? What is special about coming to this university?
One of the things that's special about Ball State is the identification with the major in the department very early. Students, almost the moment they arrive on this campus, begin to identify with the smaller group, with the department, with the area they're going to major in. And sometimes that's in the form of being involved in activities. Sometimes it's in the form of taking that first class with a faculty member. Sometimes it's in being involved in programs and opportunities presented by the departments. But students begin an identification with that smaller group, the part that they're going to spend their time with for 4 years.
I think it's been said many times that Ball State may offer the best of two worlds, an atmosphere of a smaller but large college in one hand, and certainly the experience and the activities and the professor, or the I've lost my words. Anyway, from a large research university. So we have two things to offer students: kind of a small campus feel to a degree, and then see, I'm just.
That's okay. Why don't I just answer your question anyway? I think that Ball State offers every student the middle opportunity. We're large enough to offer all kinds of very specialized programs, from architecture to anthropology. We're also small enough to offer that liberal arts experience. We value the liberal arts experience very much. All of our students take the same curriculum. We have a core curriculum. We have a writing program for all of our students. So every student gets that very personal liberal arts experience, which we think is the essence of a university experience, but also the opportunity to study in a very specific major.
Somebody said that it's good for a student to be involved in campus activities, campus governance, campus organizations, because it stimulates the academic side of the student.
Oh, absolutely. I think every student should have an opportunity to participate in many ways in the campus environment. And Ball State is small enough so that can happen. We have students who are athletes and also are majors and studying in very special. Let me start that one over.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think that students should have an opportunity to participate in a wide variety of experiences. That's part of what it means to go to a university. To not only study in a very specific major, but to also have the opportunity to have some leadership responsibilities, to study in a wide variety of areas, to interact with a large number of students and faculty members, and that's the unique Ball State experience.